What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and as usual, we're going to be going over the charts. We're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin in the daily and the 4-hour. Then we're going to jump into Google and Tesla charts that I've showed you guys about a month and a half ago. Both of them. We're going to see how those are playing out, where I think they're headed. Definitely make sure you guys smash those thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. Subscribe to the video, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and definitely make sure your notification bells are on to get notified when I post new videos. We've been nailing this market. Let's see if we can continue to nail this market and find out where it's going. So also, if you stick around to the very end, I'm going to show you my 10-year plan for Bitcoin, how it's playing out and what invalidates it. So make sure you stick around for the whole video. There's going to be a lot of info here. All right, let's take a look at the daily on Bitcoin. So I've been showing you guys this, right? We had this big drop here. We never came back to retest it, as you can see. It was the 32,950. We never came back to retest it. And once we broke past that low, we never came back to retest that either. If you zoom in here, you can see once we broke past that low, we never came back to retest it. I've been talking about this on here. Could that have been it and we're down from here? Definitely a possibility, but this gets invalidated if we pass this 17,564. Then our next point of resistance is going to be the 55 EMA at around 17,900. But as of right now, it does look like it's flipping bearish and coming down. But again, that gets invalidated if we pass that 17,500. Now, where will we be going? If we pass that 17,600, let's say 17,600, right? Again, 17,900 is the 55 EMA after that. And then we have the retest to the bottom of this falling triangle or descending triangle right here. That's going to be around the 18,400, 18,450 level. That's if we pass 17,600. If we don't pass that 17,600 and we have topped here, like I believe is a good possibility, then we come back down to this 14,500 area. I do think that's a good area to bounce, although we have other targets we could look at in the 4-hour if it goes past here. But this is off of the weekly chart. We've had this 14,500 target for about 4 months, I think it has been. We'll take a look at that weekly after we go over all these other charts. But if we were to come back up and retest this 18,400, right, that would be this blue trend line on this rising wedge that we fell out of, and that would get us up into this area on the RSI. But what I do want to point out, as of right now, you can see from this high here to this high, we made lower highs in the price action, higher highs in the RSI. That is hidden bearish divergence. We are in a downtrend. Hidden divergence is a continuation of the trend. So again, watch for the 17,500. If we do break that, look for 18,44. But as of right now, I'm looking for us to come back down to this 14,500 area. Now, I don't think that'll happen in one day. Again, we have to look at what's going on in the traditional markets also. But as you can see, the RSI has plenty of room to come back down to retest this area, right? Looking at it in the 4-hour, I showed you guys this yesterday. ABC, ABC. I think we're going to get another ABC here, back down to possibly these levels around 15.3, somewhere in that range. If this does get a bounce, we may come back up to test this around 16.8 or so. Again, this stuff takes time, guys. Let me get this out of the way, clean up the chart a little bit, and take a look at what's going on. So as of right now, look for a possible break of the 16,680. If that happens, I think we come back down to these levels once we break this high volume node around 16,500. We'll probably get down to around that 16,000 again, maybe get a bounce back up to 16,500 before continuation to the downside. So we could play around in this whole thing all month, right? Definitely a possibility before we get down to this 14,500 area. Let's take a look at Prime XBT. If you guys are interested in trading, definitely check out Prime XBT, by far my favorite exchange. They do help support the channel. So also, you can use my promo code SAVVY50. That'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus to use towards your margins. SAVVY25 will get you 25% off your fees. You could trade Forex, crypto, gold, silver, oil, S&P, pre-markets. You can have multiple trades in, longs and shorts. They don't clump them all together like the scam exchanges. Also, check out my wife's webpage, inkyourimage.com. All those links are down below. You can check out my YouTube page for a tutorial on that Prime XBT. Let's take a look at Tesla. So looking at Tesla here, we made this chart about a month and a half ago. You can check back. I think I had it on the thumbnail. It was way back here. We did break down. I told you watch for a bounce at 211. Once that broke, look for the golden pocket at 183. That's where we happen to be right now. We are coming back down. I think the next time we break this, looking for 151, I could see Tesla going as low as around 50 bucks here. Unless we get back up into these ranges and break above this trend line. But as of right now, guys, Tesla looks like it's in severe trouble, along with Binance. I showed that chart yesterday. If you didn't see it, watch yesterday's video. Here's the Google chart. Now, what we did here, you can look at our measured moves. We nailed them. Got this one here. Also, our next measured move out of this rising channel was right here, this 89.67, which we hit. Now, if we remain bullish here, if it stays above the 55 EMA on the daily, we could get back up as high as 110. If we did, that'd be a good time to short. But I do think this looks like it's more than likely going to roll over here. And as you can see, you got lower highs in the lower highs in the price action, higher highs in the RSI down here, hidden bearish divergence. Hidden divergence is a continuation of the trend. The trend is down. I believe once we pass this 89.60 area again, we're looking for that 79.20. So another $10 drop here, and then ultimately down to around this 65 level, possibly much lower. But that's what I'm looking at right now. And all that is these measured moves, right? Right here. So if you look at this measured move here, bring that down, looking at this as another bear flag, that gets us at 79. And then if we take this whole thing, looking at it as a flagpole, that being the bear flag, that gets us down to that 65.50. So I am looking for these. Obviously, the RSI has plenty of room to continue on down. But again, watch out for a fake break to the upside. Also, we could be seeing that in the Dow Jones. I've showed you guys that in the past. I'll show you again. As you can see, we're looking at this as an ending fifth wave diagonal. It does seem to be playing out, but remember on the RSI down here, we do have room to get one more push up to retest the top of this rising channel. Well, I guess you could just call it a channel in here. So if we do get one more spike up, which is possible, I think it's going to come down hard, but nevertheless, I've told you guys, the traditional markets are ready to come down and come down hard. They have been. Be very careful, guys. I know a lot of people don't like to assume that, but the charts are telling us that the economy is in serious trouble, right? This also, we showed right here that we had lower highs in the price action, higher highs in the RSI, hidden bearish divergence on the weekly. This thing does look like it's ready to turn over and turn over hard, but be aware you might get one more exit liquidity pump in the traditional markets. So you got to be aware of that. Looking at the DXY. So the DXY, as you guys know, I'm bullish on the DXY. We talked about going below this 200 EMA a little bit, just like we did back here. In the 80s, we always get a big bounce afterwards. And this is where I think we're at pretty much in the 80s back here, guys. Get a drop below the 200 EMA, continue to the upside. And see this correction here? Pretty much the same type correction we're having right now. Everybody's saying the dollar is dead, blah, blah, blah. We've been talking about the dollar being bullish since way back when. Let me look at the weekly chart. You guys can see my major targets. Back in here, we were bullish. Actually, it was over in here, 2019, when everybody else was getting super bearish. Guys, this is not much of a retrace. Looks like it's ready to bounce hard. If you look at where it bounced perfectly on the 55 EMA on the weekly. And if you go back to the 80s, that 55 EMA, major support, right? So yeah, 122, still looking for that. I'm looking for another possible pullback around there. Once we get above it and gain support, guys, I think we are headed up to the 170 to 180 level for the DXY. This is a falling wedge pattern. We broke out way back here in 2015, guys. This has plenty of room to the upside. Let's take a look at Bitcoin, but we're going to do this. Here's the Bitcoin weekly chart, right? So this is what we've been talking about. This is a weekly target. We put it here, bring it down. That gets to us to about, actually, about 14.7, 14.5 area. Still looking for us at that area. Could we have finished here and getting a little pump up? Maybe. But nevertheless, the timing remains the same for what's going on, guys. Everybody's always expected this huge move up or this huge move down. This takes time to play out, right? We're on a weekly chart. People are looking on the daily chart in the 4 hour trying to call for double bottoms or calling the bottom is in. This is a huge downtrend, weekly, monthly, yearly. You're not going to find the bottom in a 4 hour or 1 day chart, guys. How many times have you been burned by that? A lot. Quit getting burned by that. Pay attention to what's going on. As we've talked about here, I think we still get down to this level and maybe get a rally up into January, February, maybe even long as March. Probably January, February, maybe getting back up to that 17.5 one more time before continuation to the downside. Being, you know, sometime in March or so, get a false bottom. February or March maybe. False bottom, 75 to 8,500. Get another rally up to about 14.5, 14.7. Into June of next year, and then the major capitulation, getting us down to our ultimate bottom, 35 to 4,500, sometime in the middle or end of next year. Now, I called this all back on December 2nd. We made a, let's see, where is it at? Right here on December 2nd, we made this .com, this Amazon chart right here, .com bubble, .com scam washout. I told you all of the scams need to get washed out. The scammy altcoins, the scammy projects, scammy exchanges. We talked about it all year. Nobody believed it. We seen the Luna crash, then, you know, Celsius, FTX, plenty more to come, guys. I've been telling you guys, I showed you a chart on yesterday's video. You might want to go check it out. Binance, I think, is in big trouble. I could be wrong. Just telling you what the charts are telling me. None of this is financial advice, guys, but you got to be aware. Like I said, December 2nd, we talked about all this. I told you how it would dump, get little rallies to the upside, get everyone bullish again, only to dump lower lows and just keep making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. This is called exit liquidity. They get you in to take your money. False bottom right here. In bubble pop patterns, you always have a false bottom. This is not an Elliott wave count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a bubble pop pattern count. Once we get down to this false bottom, I think we'll see a break in the weekly RSI, just like we did here. And what happens when something like that happens? That's it. That's the bottom. It is the weekly RSI trend line break. It's going to the moon. And got 100% rally, which is not a bad thing. Not saying you can't get in a good long over here or, you know, buy and then resell again if this does play out. But nevertheless, you got to rally into, you know, February, March, and then a continuation to the downside, which I think we're going to see here. So basically what I'm saying is we're looking for a false bottom somewhere around 75 to 8,500 in February or March. Get a big rally up into April. Maybe May, maybe as long as May, who knows, somewhere in that area. We'll be tracking it. Make sure you're subscribed. Oh, make sure you smash those thumbs up if you forgot to do it earlier. That does help push the video out, and share this video. But anyways, just like I've been talking about, we'll see that trend line break right here on the weekly. Now, if we were to break it right now, this could be the false bottom and one more low. But again, we'll see how this plays out on the weekly, but it does look like this is more likely. Also, let's take a look at, this is the Amazon chart overlaid on the Bitcoin chart right here. Amazon in blue. These are both weekly charts, guys. And if we put it right over Bitcoin, playing out the same way, this is a bubble pop pattern. Does that mean Bitcoin is dead? No. Does that mean it could be a long time before we see new all-time highs? Absolutely. And here it is. So if it was to play out the same, right, it would look something like this. So the bottom being the middle or end of 2023, 35 to 4,500, a 10x rally, right? Here's that 4-year cycle, halving cycle, blah, 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 new all-time highs. I don't think we're going to see new all-time highs. I do think we'll see a 10x into 2025, and then another pullback, 14 to 20,000 range, mid 2028. Guys, this is a huge opportunity if this plays out. Again, it doesn't have to play out this way, but if it does, the opportunities here are huge. Just even if you're not trading, even if you're just buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling this whole time. I'm not going to go into any more detail on it right now. I've went over detail in every video, so if you want to know these exact dates and stuff, I've also posted it on Twitter many times. Guys, be careful out there. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for stopping around, and I really appreciate those of you that stick around to the end and smash those likes, leave your comments, share the video, get it out there. I'm out. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.